Like Nick said, I'm not as cool as Keeley. I do not memorize my speech. So I'm going to go with what I wrote and then wing it. So as the maid of honor, it's tradition that I write a speech, which is my honor. I mean, after all, Keeley's my biffle. That's best friends for life for those of you who did not grow up in the 90s. But I can't forget Keeley's other half to the equation, Nick. I can hardly remember a time when it was just Keeley. It's been 13 years of a pair made in the middle of high school. Not exactly heaven, but then again, if you ask Keeley, she knew they'd be together because the tarot cards told her so. Or Nick just came back from the future with Marty McFly. Let me start by saying that my knowledge of Keeley and Nick comes from the most awkward stage of one's life, the teenage years. There are a lot of extremely embarrassing things that both Keeley and Nick have done that they never told their parents or their family. Hence, I brought a list of all those things here tonight. Bring out the list. You know what? I'm just kidding. Just kidding. I grew up with Nick living down the street from me, playing Parkway soccer. I sat next to Keeley in English class and won her over with my mother's apple cookie cake. And every day at the lunch table, I had the privilege of being front row to the previews of the next Boy Meets World episode in real time. Who could resist the baby talk with the animal crackers at the age of 15? As the years passed us by, we've had our ups and downs, which has both strengthened our relationship and friendships with one another. I've never looked at Nick as Keeley's boyfriend, and I've never looked at Keeley as Nick's girlfriend, because they both were individually my best friends. Keeley and Nick have grown from high school sweethearts to mature adults who understand that a relationship requires commitment and compromise. Through major life changes and everyday hurdles, Keeley and Nick have shared mutual love and trust. These qualities will no doubt come in handy as a married couple in the years to come. Now it gives me immense pleasure and great relief to invite you all to raise your glasses in a toast to Keeley and Nick. Nick, I want you to look at Keeley and place your hand on top of hers. And I really want you to enjoy this moment, because it's the last time you'll ever have the upper hand. May the future hold your happiness. May the future hold your health. May your heart hold your love. And may your arms hold your babies yet to come. Here's to your future of happiness together. Congratulations on making a love's most beautiful promise. Cheers.
I am just going to wing it, so bear with me. So normally... Sorry. So normally at weddings, people say, welcome to the family. But Keeley's been a part of our family for an extremely long time. They started dating when they were 10, or when I was 10, sorry, that was wrong. And they've been dating ever since. So Keeley's been in my life longer than she hasn't. And she's truly the sister I never wanted. I'm happy to have her now. And after 13 very long years, she's changed all of our lives in our family. She sold me my first car for the princely sum of $1, which I loved all the way up until I found out what happened to the bench front seat, and that it could never be cleaner. In our house now, after meeting Keeley, day after Thanksgiving is the first day of Christmas, and there's always an extra bottle of wine in the house. But I really have to thank Nick for bringing Keeley into our lives. She truly has made it brighter, and he'd be lost without her. Should have seen him upstairs trying to get ready. He lost his shoes twice today. Once here and once before he got here. So without her, he is actually lost. I'm truly happy to have you as a sister, and the day Nick asked me to be his best man, I was actually a bit choked up. Nick mocked me for it. But it was a true honor, and I was really worried about having to give a speech when I found out I was required, not an option. So I asked them what they'd like me to say, and they said, come up with some moment that kind of sums us up. Something over the last 13 years that really makes a Nick and Keeley moment. So, you know, the first thing that popped in my mind was their constant Facebook updates when they're together and when they're not, with my man on the couch, or some obscure movie quote, or is it their, you know, gross displays of public affection that they are shameless about and refuse to stop. My favorite Nick and Keeley moment happened right at the start, which I only found out about this summer, and it involves the passwords to most of Keeley's accounts. The password is CMPLove223, if anybody's wondering. When I found, you can change that, by the way. But the day I found out, being nosy myself, I asked what CMP stands for. He said it stood for cut and paste, because when Nick and Keeley first started going out when they were about 15 years old, Nick told her that when he thinks about his future, he always cut and pasted and put Keeley into it, because he couldn't imagine a future without her in it. He peaked very young. But now, 13 years on, they're still together, and I hope they never have to spend the night apart again. So, to the happy couple. Now, hit John.
All right, let's get down and party, everybody. Come on. Everybody go to dance.